Hello and welcome to the USA Breaking News on 18 June 2026. For the first time, the usage share of ChatGPT in artificial intelligence AI tools market has fallen below 50%, marking a major shift in the rapidly growing AI industry. A 2026 report by Sensor Tour shows that although ChatGPT still leads within about 1.1 billion monthly users, its market share has declined to 46.4%. The drop is largely attributed to the rising popularity of competing AI platforms like Gemini, developed by Google, now holds 27.7% of the market, while Cloud from Tropics has grown to 10.3%. The report indicates that users' migration is being driven not only by product performance but also by trust in the companies. In particular, partnership between OpenAI and the US Department of Defense have influenced some users to switch platforms according to the findings. Despite the decline in share, the AI market continues to expand rapidly. Users are expected to spend more than $4.2 billion in the first half of 2026. In AI subscription services alone, among paid services, Cloud currently leads in subscription conversation with 13% of users paying for premium accesses. Meanwhile, OpenAI has begun introducing advertisements with ChatGPT. In May alone, about 17% of users reportedly encountered ads during usage. The report also highlights a growing shift in online shopping behaviors as AI tools increasingly directs users towards e-commerce platforms such as Walmart. At the same time, companies like Amazon are reportedly limiting integration that connects their platform with ChatGPT, signaling rising competition over a digital commerce ecosystem. A South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has stated that the government has not set any deadline for undocumented foreign nationals to leave the country, stressing that authorities are pursuing a long-term and sustainable solutions to immigration challenges. This come after local groups and movements in South Africa advocating against undocumented migrations had set June 30, 2026 as a deadline foreign nationals living illegally in the country to depart voluntarily. President Ramaphosa dismissed the deadline, saying it was unnecessary and not aligned with the government's efforts to address the underlying issues. Speaking during the Youth Day celebration held in Nasleki, he emphasized that the government is already implementing measures to manage migration and strengthen border control systems. The self-imposed ultimatum was reportedly issued by anti-immigration groups, including the March and March movements, which warned of further action if their demands were not met. The government strongly rejected the move, insisting that immigration enforcement remain the sole responsibility of state institutions. Ramaphosa warned against any actions that could destabilize the country, stating that law enforcement agencies would not tolerate attempts to insist violence under the guise of addressing immigration concerns. I believe so called June 30 deadline is unnecessary because we are already addressing the challenges our people face. He added that many South Africans support government intervention, saying they represent important steps that are beginning to show results. The president also urged citizens not to take the law into their own hands, stressing that immigration enforcement must remain in the hands of authorities. No South African should act against anyone from another African country. That is the responsibility of government with us. Ramaphosa further warned that security forces would act firmly against anyone attempting to disrupt public order. He linked the immigration issue to economic pressures, noting that many migrants come to South Africa in search of job and better living conditions, while others are refugees. The immigration issue is largely driven by economic factors. Many who come here are seeking for employment and opportunities to improve their lives. The president also rejected claims that South Africa are inherently xenophobic, saying such narrative are misleading. Tension around immigration in South Africa have led to unrest in recent years, with some citizens accusing foreign nationals of taking jobs. In a response, some African countries, including Ghana and Nigeria, have previously facilitated voluntary repatriations of their citizens amid concern over violence and safety risks. Rwanda's ministry in charge of emergency management, MINEMA, has announced the reception of 173 asylum seekers in the 23rd groups evacuated from Libya as a part of an ongoing humanitarian relocation programs. The group includes 85 nationals from Sudan, a country currently affected by prolonged conflict, 63 from Eritrea, 2 from Ethiopia, and 12 from South Sudan. The evacuees were received in a collaboration with the United Nations Refugees Agency under the Emergency Transit Mechanism (ATMs), a program designed to temporarily host vulnerable asylum seekers evacuated from Libya, while long-term solutions are being identified. Many of those rescued had been attempting to cross the Mediterranean Sea towards Europe through Libya, often using unsafe and irregular migration routes. A significant number undertake the journey without proper documentation, exposing themselves to life-threatening risk at sea. In a statement posted on X, MINEMA reaffirmed Rwanda's commitment to humanitarian protection, saying Rwanda remains committed to providing refuge to those in need of protection. Since 2019, Rwanda has received more than 3,000 refugees and asylum seekers evacuated from Libya under the ATM programs. Of these, at least 2,623 have since been successfully resettled in third countries. Countries that have hosted relocated refugees from Rwanda includes Canada, Finland, and the United States. According to officials' figures, the program continues to position Rwanda as one of the African countries participating in international efforts to address the refugee crisis linked to irregular migration through North Africa. The United States has released details of draft peace agreement with Iran aimed at ending a war that has lasted more than 3 months and spread across part of the Middle East. The proposed deal, made public by officials in the United States, contains 14 key points and outlines a framework that could see Iran benefit from major reconstruction investment if it's fully complies with the terms. Speaking during the Group of Seven Summit 2026 in France, USA President Donald Trump said the agreement could be formally signed as early as June 19, 2026 in Switzerland. According to the draft, both sides agreed to immediately halt all military operations, including the wider regional escalation involving Lebanon, where Hezbollah has been engaged in ongoing clashes with Israel. The agreement also emphasizes mutual respect for sovereignty, with both Washington and Tehran committing to non-interference in each other's internal affairs. A 16 days negotiation period will follow the initial signaling, allowing both parties to further define their commitment. This timeline may be extended if both sides agreed, with talks expected to begin immediately after the preliminary accords. One of the most sensitive provisions require to the United States to lift the restriction on oil shipments rickets to Iran. In a return, Iran would reopen access to Strait of Hormuz, a critical passage through which nearly 20% of the world's oil supply flows. The deal also outlined a potential $300 billion investment package reportedly led by private sector actors from the United States and its partners aimed at rebuilding Iran infrastructure and economy. In addition, Washington has agreed in a principle to lift economic sanctions previously imposed on Iran, including measures endorsed by the United Nations Security Council. Iran, for its part, has committed to abandoning any pursuit of nuclear weapons while agreeing to further discussion on its uranium enrichment program. The draft also includes provisions for the gradual release of Iranian assets frozen under international sanctions, although officials say these points is still under negotiation. If finalized, the agreement would mark one of the most significant diplomatic breakthroughs in recent years in the effort to stabilize the Middle East region. In a sports last night, the national football team of the Democratic Republic of Congo team has made the history by scoring its first ever FIFA World Cup goal, securing 1-1 draw against Portugal national football team in highly anticipated group stage match. The match played on Wednesday, June 17, 2026 in the ongoing FIFA World Cup 2026 saw Portugal start strongly and take an early lead in the 6th minute through João Neves, who finished off pass from Pedro Neto. Portugal dominated the early possessions while DRC adopted more defensive approach, relying on counterattacks. The first clear chance came in the 11th minute when Yohan Wissa tested the goalkeeper with a shot that went just wide. Despite Portugal controlling much of the first half, DRC equalized in stoppage time before the break, with Salah's highest to head in a corner delivered by Arthur, sending the Congolese bench into celebration. In the second half, Portugal pushed for winner, and Joao Cancelo briefly thought he had restored the lead in the 55th minute, but the goal was ruled out for offside. Cristiano Ronaldo also came close to scoring in the 69th minute after well-timed pass from Francisco, but he failed to convert the chance. Later, another effort from Ronaldo went off target under the pressure inside the box. The match ended 1-1, marking historic moment for Democratic Republic of Congo, not only securing their first World Cup goal, but also earning their first ever draw in the tournament since their last appearance in 1974 when they failed to score. That's all for now. Thank you for watching.